Look at that strut. I have never seen that walk animation in Software Inc. That is absolutely amazing. I'm not actually sure where they're all going, but that is, or was at the very least, an amazing walk animation. All right, that's good. I'm glad my employees are feeling sassy today. I'm also glad that I've finally had an opportunity to go through and start reading your feedback on this series. At the time of recording this episode, I think the 4th episode has just gone out, which is a bit more of a gap between doing this one and the first batch, but I wanted to make sure that I did get an opportunity to go and read your feedback. That's very important to me, and I'm very grateful for all of the love and support on this series so far. I love this time of year when we get to come back to games like Software Inc. and Airport CEO, which is, yes, it's on the horizon. It'll be after this one because that's the yearly tradition that we do around here. But there's been some amazing feedback. I'm putting it all into a spreadsheet, and I'm going to do my best to name the commenters that have the ideas if and when they come up. But there is one suggestion that I have seen so many people suggest that I can't possibly name everybody, and that is to do with my founders and their stocks. So by virtue of having 3 founders, essentially, I have 33.3% of Nerdrasoft. It is mine up to that point. Bob Newby, or Bob's estate, has 33.3%, and Bella's estate has 33.3% of the company. If I was to go and spend $4.1 million to buy out Bob's 100 shares and Bella's 100 shares, they will both leave the company, which is a problem because we have them running some teams. And I've seen so many comments that have suggested doing something like this. Instead of buying out 100 shares, buy out 99, which is still basically $4.1 million. But that way, they are left with a single share in the company, which is worth roughly $41,000. And that way they stick around. That way we don't lose them, which I think is a huge, huge benefit. And I think it's a really big brain move that we're going to have to do at some point. I'm not really in any rush to buy out their shares because I do have some plans for how we're going to spend some money today. But I did want to mention that I've seen those comments. I think it's a fantastic idea. I have it noted down. We are 100% going to do it. But there's a few things that I want to do first. Specifically, I'm kind of thinking that we should get Sergeant Stabby Face out the door. We should get that into a good place, make sure it's, well, hopefully successful. And I'm thinking that in December of this year, so December of 1992, we are going to release Nexus. That way we have our own digital distribution platform going out to everybody just before Sergeant Stabby Face goes out the door. Now, I will say digital platforms I don't think are going to be super successful in the early 90s, but if we build something good and we build something that is a high quality product, I'm hoping we can leverage that as we go into the digital era and have something that everybody wants to use. I have managed to do that before. It's never a guaranteed thing. It's never something where we can just own the market necessarily, but we have companies like Foundsphere Corporation with essentially a third of the market. We have these guys with essentially a third of the market, and then the other third is split between these 2 companies. So what I'm hoping to do, and what I'm hoping to happen here, is that I can sort of push in and maybe just take about a third of the market myself and just continue to update the platform, make it better, make it as good as it can possibly be, and see what happens. That is going to be the goal. Now, we are still making a good amount of money. We did 287,000 last month. It is coming down though, and I just want to remind myself, and I suppose you as well, in case you're curious, about what we've been doing recently, which is Pixel. In June of 1991, it has made $12.6 million in profits. That is our first 2D editor, which is fantastic, and it is the second most profitable thing we have ever put out, with the first being just $100,000 more, that being our RTS game, Space Command 2, which was about $2.3 million more profitable than the first Space Command, which is absolutely fantastic. I am noticing that add-ons don't really seem to do too much, so I'm not really super concerned about doing more of those. I do like the idea of doing more add-ons. I think that could be really fun. And there was, I will say, I haven't noted it down, but I've just remembered there was a really good comment about Space Command add-ons and the fact that I didn't call them booster packs. Unfortunately, I have lost that. I replied to it. I think I did like the little heart thing you can do in YouTube to it. That's such a good idea. I don't think we need to do any booster packs for Space Command, but just because we can call them booster packs, when we get around to doing Space Command 3, we're going to do some booster packs. Also, just in case you were curious about the new feature on the left side, it is console operating systems now supporting 3D rendering, which is huge. That is a very, very good thing that they are doing, and I am all here for it. I'm not really too sure if any operating systems currently support 3D stuff, but we can take a little bit of a look and see if anybody is gonna have a 3D editor support in here. If we look at operating systems, yeah. So nobody is doing 3D graphics right now. I think what we would have to do realistically is build it ourselves. We would have to put 3D rendering into an operating system. We probably could build a super basic operating system. It's still going to take about 2 years. We could do it. I don't think I want to do it, but we definitely could do it. We'll throw, you know, core and game dev at it, and it's still approximately 2 years. 138 million potential consumers is not bad either. I don't think we're going to do that. It would be kind of fun to do that, but we'll hold off. Let's focus on getting Sergeant Stabby Face out the door. And you know what? Let's push this pixel update out the door as well and just queue up another one. Let's also have the core team working on, I suppose, the update for this. That seems like a fair idea to me. And you know, just while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and start leasing a few more offices because I think we can probably get away with maybe giving Bob his own team at this point. Bob can go ahead, and if we just have a look at his details, Bob can start leading up a 2D editor team specifically, which is just going to be 2D and systems. Bob is pretty solid with those things. That's kind of his specialty. So we are going to absolutely be doing that. So let's go ahead and just grab all of the furniture in this room. We'll Control C all of that and then just bring it into that space, which looks solid to me. And then over on this side, we have a broken computer. That's a problem. Okay, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. We don't have any... Oh, we do have maintenance that comes in every day. We might not have enough maintenance coming in here every day. I'm also thinking, I've just realized, don't we have the ability to upgrade these computers now? Isn't that a little thing we can do with the... Yeah, we have the 90s computer now, which is, I would assume, a little bit better. It boosts the environment at least. So that's good. That's definitely something we should do. I think we're gonna have to go through and upgrade all of our computers as well. But first things first, let me just bring all of this stuff into these new offices. I'm actually very tempted to grab this layout and just move it into this space. I'm just gonna sort of cram a bunch of employees in there because I think it might be better just to kind of go all out and try our best to get a good amount of people on this 2D team. So we'll put a bunch of desks in there. I think I'm going to terminate this lease, grab this one, and then if I select all of this furniture, we can copy it, spin it around, and put it just over here. So that gives us a grand total of 6, and 6 is 12 employees, plus Bob is 13 for the 2D editor team. Now, very quickly, let's replace all these computers. I don't think I can... Oh, I can select the entire building. Can I select all of the computers in the building? I absolutely can, and I'm hoping I can replace them all with the 90s computer. There we go. That's a lot of money, but I think it is absolutely worth it to get the 90s computers in there. And I guess at this point, we should start working on getting the new team in here. Let's also speed things up because I'm going very, very slowly today for some reason. So this will be the 2D, I guess, editor team is what we'll call them. We'll get that added. We're gonna need to pick a color for them. We have green, we have yellow, we have purple, we have red-ish. I guess we could do blue. That seems like it'd be a fun color for these two rooms. So first things first, let me grab the floor color from the ones down below. So we'll go in here and get the floor to be that nice white color, and then select these two rooms up here and have them be, I'm gonna say, a sort of nice blue color for this team. So we'll grab that hex code, we'll apply it to all of the furniture very quickly. And so with that done, I want to go ahead and basically move Bob into the 2D editor team. So if we go to the core team and go to employees, we can go to Bob and we can say, buddy, you are going into your own team now, which is totally fine by me. I'm not 100% sure if the core team is being HR managed. They absolutely are, which is fantastic. So hopefully we're going to see the core team fill up to 10 employees again. I would assume that we're going to see that happen. Let's just double check the HR management. So there's me is 1 and then 4, 2, 2. Yeah, we need 1 more. So Bob, I'm going to say, well, I don't really know what the core team needs. Let's just bring this up to, I guess, 3 designers. Let's do it that way. And I think we could maybe go for high salaries, but I'm going to stick with medium just for the time being. That should be totally fine. So when it comes to a 2D editor, let's just have a very quick look at what it needs. It is purely 2D graphics, so 2D and systems. So I think what we'll do is go to the 2D editor team. We'll go to HR management, which we can't necessarily do yet because Bob isn't the leader, but they'll handle wages and all that good stuff. Educate all of them, educate 3 at a time. We are going to want, well, we have 12 desks, so we could do, I don't know, 5, 5, and 2. That might not be a good spread, but I think that's what we're going to go for. And we are looking for 2D development, and that's, well, 2D and systems, I guess, is about all we really need on this team, which is fine by me. And for traits, I don't want slow eaters. I don't want people getting stressed. I don't want people colons. I kind of don't want any of the bad traits, but I can only limit so many of them. I don't really care if people break their computer. I don't really want neat freaks. This is probably not a good one, given that this floor is a little bit higher up. Bathroom more often is whatever. Won't use cars. Dragon, I don't want you dragging in more dirt. That's kind of a problem. And we don't want people to get stressed. Fast learners are always welcome. That is probably fine. And the salaries are going to be medium. So that gives us about everything we want for the 2D editor team. It might be worth experimenting with some high salaries in this one, just so that the people are better. And I think I'm going to do that. I think we'll play around with that idea and just see how it goes. We'll give them a $2 million budget in that team. And then if we go to employees, we have old Bob here, and we'll change his roles out. He's also going to be the team leader, and I guess a mentor seems fair enough. I'm pretty sure Bob is perfectly capable of being a good old team leader. Yeah, HR, automation, socialization. This is perfect. So we can 100%, once we start dealing with our own marketing, we can go in here and start to, I guess, automate the process of having 2D editors go out the door. So hopefully this means if we speed things up again, Bob, there we go, is starting to fill out the 2D editor team, which should end up with, if I've done this properly, 13 people in total at some point. They also have pretty good compatibility, which is great. And cohesion is employees becoming friends. That's good. That's totally fine. You guys want some salary. Wow, what is this? You want, oh, you only want $217 more. I mean, that's a lot of money, but yeah, that's fine. We're doing all right, I think. I'm pretty sure we can afford that. And I'm pretty sure, yep, we have the new team coming in, which is great news. Let's go ahead then and assign the 2D editor team the task of updating Pixel so that they are working on that. The core team is dealing with a lot of bugs in Nexus, which needs to go out this month. And the next month is Sergeant Stabby Face. So everybody's doing something, right? Except for, so core team, 2D editor, game dev. Who else do we have? Let's just double check. Support is doing support, and then accounting is doing accounting. So everybody is doing something, which is great news. That's what we want to see. Bob's over here doing his, oh, I don't like that when you zoom out, his beard disappears. That's horrifying. that's cursed. That's cursed Bob Newbie right there. Let's get that update for Pixel out the door there. We did just spend a lot of money. Wasn't on royalties. What did we just spend all of that money? Oh, probably leases, right? Bills didn't go up. Oh, in here, hiring. Oh, we spent money to hire people. That checks out. Yep, that's what it was. We hired a bunch of people. That's totally fine. Almost 500 bugs in Sergeant Stabby Face. It's not bad. Nexus is ready to go out. I'm just going to push that out the door. It's going to be supported just fine. Let's have a little bit of a look here. So we have a 5% cut which is lower than anybody else in the market. I'm going to bring that up to 10% because it's still lower than anybody else in the market. Our tech levels are not great, but I think we can update those, which is totally fine by me. I don't know if we can go... Yeah, we can go about that high. Let's give this to the core team to work on, just because that seems like a pretty fair thing to do. Source control is source control. That's fine. Let's get that done as quickly as we possibly can, unless I just managed to mess that up, which I might have done. Let's try this again. Let's give it to the core team. Hit OK and update. There's what I'm looking for. 2D editors aren't going to be doing it. We'll have them come in tomorrow and hopefully work on that. Nexus is hopefully going to have some active users. 0 at the moment. 1.4. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. It's not bad. 1.4 million active users right off the rip. A whole bunch of queued support tickets though, so we might have some trouble with that. Hopefully my support team can get through those nice and quickly. A decent few bugs coming in as well, but it looks like we're churning through those tickets pretty quickly, which is beautiful to see. We're dealing with the bugs super quickly as well, which is also beautiful to see, and hopefully we get it done. There we go. So that update goes out. We're hopefully going to have more active users tomorrow, and we don't have anyone signed to this. I think I'm the only company that's going to be signed to my own platform right now. Wait. I just realized I almost forgot. I almost forgot to release Sergeant Stabby Face. Oh, I got a little bit too comfortable there. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that was really close. Release it. That's fine. How are we doing with Sergeant Stabby Face? That's not good. That is good, and that's okay. Are we supposed to know who Nerdrasoft is? We'll probably go for the Battle Annihilation, to be honest. Belagoth's brilliance shines through, and the bugs are few and far between. Sergeant Stabby Face delivers, and nothing more. Plus Belagoth knocked it out of the park. Okay, so pretty good reviews. Let's have a look and see how it's doing. Release date here. It's great. It's inspiring. That's what we're looking for. That is absolutely what we're looking for. Marketing is sparse, which isn't great, but that's probably all right. Do I want to make an expansion pack for this? I kind of do and I kind of don't. I think I want to port it right off the rip, to be honest. And we'll get the core team, actually just the game devs can work on this. Let's sort by release date here. Let's sort by active users because we have this, which is doing wild numbers right now. Let's go for anything above 200,000. So we'll go for these 4 operating systems right here. We'll get that ported over. Pixel, let's have a look at porting you as well. We'll give that to the 2D editor team because they're not doing too much. Put it on Badger 2. Space Command 2, I'll give that to the game devs as well. There's actually not much for it to go on to. Badger 2, I think we'll pass on that just to be safe. And sure, we'll get everybody in. We'll see how it goes. Sergeant Stabby Face has 0 active users, which is totally fine. We're about to see just how many it ends up with. 15.8 thousand. Okay. Yeah, that could have been better. That oh boy. All right. Little bit nervous about that one. I don't love that it's struggling a little bit. That's definitely got me concerned. Let's go ahead and have this is actually the only things these guys are working on. So I'll tell you what, let's have the core team work on this as well, because there's 4 systems that Stabby Face is trying to go to there. So hopefully we can get that done. Pixel for Badger 2 should be done relatively quickly, which is great news. And we did get one of the new platforms for Sergeant Stabby Face as well. So hopefully it's going to go from 15,000 active users to like 1 million active users. 23 point, okay. That's really not sold as much as I was hoping for. It's still not even made a profit, which is really, really bad news. Do I want to make a sequel for that? That's the question. I don't know that I do. I'm slightly tempted to just go back to Space Command because we did so much better with that. And I do want people to remember that IP. So you know what? What was it, 89? Okay, yeah, we're going to do another Space Command is what we're going to do. Make sequel, Space Command 3. We're just going to do what we know, I guess, is what we're going to do. It's fair enough. We have this old framework from '89 as well. That has some old tech levels in it, which is probably... Oh, wait, no, we don't have any more 2D graphics here, which is fine. Oh, no, it might want 3D graphics, though. No, we'll be fine. Let's bring the game design up to 1989. Let's bring the audio up to 1990. So we're losing a little bit of the benefit that we have in here from this stuff, but that should be fine. Space Command 3, it's an RTS. Let's do dialogue trees this time. I know we're getting a lot of wasted interest here from dialogue trees, but it needs something else, I suppose. Tech level 1990 for multiplayer. It would be kind of cool to get some multiplayer in here. Reverse Uno, I don't want to do that. That seems like a bad idea. Mod support could be fun. That would probably be a pretty cool idea. Get some mod support in here. A massive amount of wasted interest, but people love mod support, right? So we'll do mod support. We'll bring this, I mean, $78.59 is fine. Let's do $75. Source control is fine. We're using Commander. That's all right. The 2D editor in question. Most recent release date, we have Pixel. I think we're going to have to use it. Tech level 89. There is a 90 in there, which I'm going to avoid. I'm going to use the slightly older tech level because I can use my own software for that. Audio tool in this case, I can't use any of them. That's interesting. So Reverb 2.0 is actually on par with the rest of them. So we're not going to be able to do anything more than 1986 audio. We need to make another Reverb is what we need to do. And we need to make sure that it's good. Let's get this onto these operating systems as well. So we'll do the 2, gives us 6.6 million potential consumers, which I'm fine with. We can analyze the market and apply these trends, which gives us 97% expected interest. If I adjust this, I can probably get that to 100. There's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, we can auto balance this as well, which will do it for me. So I'll just auto balance in future. And this seems fine. I'm sort of okay with this. We'll just give it to the game dev team. We'll give it to the game dev team about a year. And it's not highlighted in red, so it's not going to be a super long about a year. It's going to be about a year to do this, which I'm fine with. Now, these publishers, interestingly, I have seen a bunch of comments talking about the fact that I probably don't need them and that I can probably market it myself and I can probably handle printing myself or ordering copies. I sort of like the idea of using publishers. I like that these guys, I mean, they're giving me 2 years to make this, which I don't think we need in all honesty, but I have just noticed market recognition. Publisher recognition will affect sales and marketing efforts. However, publishers will also receive most of the product's fans. So these guys are going to take 51%. But they have much better market recognition. I wonder if this is the point where we start to market our own things. I'm really tempted to drop marketing and I'm really tempted to drop printing because I could theoretically print it myself. It's going to be expensive, but I can do it and I can probably market it myself. I can build a marketing team. We have the technology. We have the space. We have some space in the building still. I was planning, by the way, I mentioned earlier that I wanted to get Sergeant Savvyface out the door and then I was going to do some stuff. I was thinking we were going to move into the new tower, into the skyscraper today. We might still do that, but I think before we do, let's go independent. Let's have Space Command 3. Let's ditch these guys. I think we might be the only ones keeping them alive anyway. If we have a little look at their company, let's look at worth right here. We are now worth more than them. They were worth quite a bit when we started here. So yeah, they have 3 products. They're not doing well. They are not doing well. Apparently, yeah, their last one's archived. So their most recent release was 92, which wasn't that long ago. It was this. Okay, it's done 3 million in profits since December. I mean, it's only ordinary as well. I don't think this publisher is going to be around for very long. So I think what's basically going to happen here is even though we have a really good relationship with Scouts Interactive, they're not going to be around long enough for us to benefit from that relationship. And so I think realistically, I think we go independent. I think we let these guys work on it. About a year is fine. I can bring in a marketing team. I can figure out how we're going to print it. And that also means that I can potentially automate this. I hadn't thought about that part. I really hadn't thought about that. Let's not automate it yet. Let's start developing it and just see what happens. So, oh man, I might be biting off a little bit more than I can chew with this one, but we're going to find out is what we're going to do. We have this space in here. I saw some comments talking about the fact that we have way more source control than we need in the building right now. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe not build a new source control server, but I'm going to try to move the current one into this space. So put one in there, move you into that space as well, and we'll move this one into that space. So we'll have something like this, and those will be the 3 source control servers. I can recolor them so the casing is going to be like more of a, I don't know, like a white for the source control servers, so we can tell them apart. And then in here, we can just delete those, and then that keeps these 3 SCM servers. We can delete this, and this, and that gives us space to turn this room and this room into space for marketing. And I could have this be a marketing team leader's office. I just don't necessarily think I need to do that, to be totally honest with you. I think we're probably good not doing that. So let me grab everything in this room and bring it downstairs. I don't own that office yet. That's going to be slightly tricky to do, but now we'll do it. Bring all of you down to there. And then for this space, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I also don't know how many marketers we need. That's going to be 6 of them right there, which is, well, that's going to be 6 of them right there. That's maybe going to be enough of them. I don't know. I don't know if we need that many. We could just cancel the lease on this, have 6 marketers and a team leader. And yeah, let's just do that. Let's just see how that goes. So terminate the lease on that room. We don't need it right now. We'll lease this room because it can be for the team leader. We will grab everything in this room and spin it around. I wasn't really planning on getting, oh dear. I wasn't really planning on getting another team leader anytime soon, but I feel like this just makes sense, you know? All right, so the marketing team can have this cool looking orange color, which I'm pretty sure is really similar to the orange color that I used for this channel's branding years and years ago. Fun fact, this channel has had so many different colors for its logos and branding. It did start though with orange, sort of a fiery ready orange, because this channel was originally, again, fun fact, a Guild Wars 2 channel back in August of, I want to say 2012. Yeah, be 13 years old this year. It was originally a Guild Wars 2 channel. I did like 5 videos in Guild Wars 2. One of them was some cow-related quest tutorial, and it got like 1,000 views, and I thought I'd made it, and then I got really bored of Guild Wars 2, and about a month later started playing SimCity 4 specifically. Those videos are still on the channel. The Guild Wars ones are not. And the rest is, as they say, history. Now, let's start bringing in some marketers here. We want a leader for the team. I'm going to say high salary because I think that's important. And I want someone that can do HR and socialization, and probably multitasking over socialization, because you're going to be doing a lot of things potentially. So that's fine. We'll begin looking. And we are just going to put you into the marketing team. We'll sort by skill. And we have you, which is totally fine. You're modest, you're stressed, that's fine. You can do HR, you can do multitasking. A little bit of automation as well is fine, and a bit of marketing. Perfect. You, Brian Newton, are hired. We are going to go into our marketing team and go to employees. You are now going to be I don't want to educate you. I want to change your role to team leader. And we're going to secondary everything else so that you are primarily the team leader. And then we want to go into HR management. We want to say handle wages. Role selection is, I want to say hired 4. I'm also going to pause so this doesn't go too crazy. Education, we'll do 2 at a time. Now we want 6 people doing service stuff. We want them only doing marketing and their traits. I want to say, is there anything in here? They fix their computers when using it. That is kind of huge. That is really, really good. I'm very tempted to go for that one, actually, so things are a bit easier. But let's, no specialization point limit in main role. Let's go for big brains. Let's say they don't get stressed easily. Let's say they don't take twice as long to eat. Let's say that they are not slow and that they don't break the computers. That seems like a good way to go for a marketing team. And we probably want high salaries here as well, and maybe a $2 million budget just to make sure everything is okay. So now if we speed things up, we have 6 marketing employees, which is totally fine. We are going to want to make sure, what are you doing? That's your team leader's office. I've just realized I didn't set that. Leaders can go work in there if you don't mind, just so it's all set up properly. Not too sure it's going to happen yet, but that's all right. And I guess they're going to be doing basically nothing for now. I've just realized that they have nothing to do, and I probably could have hired them in about a year instead of hiring them now, but you know what? It's fine. Do we have any marketing contracts that we can take? Is that a thing that we have? It doesn't really seem like it, unfortunately, but that's all right. I suppose I could set up some printing. That's an option that we have if I did lease that space again. But I think for now we have a marketing team, which is that feels huge. That feels like progress. Sergeant Stabby Face has 31,000 active users. That feels like a big deal, I guess. We'll bring its tech levels up as well, just because we desperately need to update this. We'll use this as well just to bring it up to date a little bit. And we'll give that to, well, the game dev designers are doing design stuff. We'll give it to the game dev team just to get them to work on that a little bit. SCM is totally fine, and update. Let's actually make that a priority as well, because I would like to see this update go out as quickly as possible, just so that the fans of Sergeant Stabby Face are happy. I was hoping that we could maybe automate that and start having some, more Sergeant Stabby Face games. Oh, wow. What is this? RPG game multi. Oh, we've just unlocked networking. That's kind of a big deal. That is a really, really big deal. Is that possibly because something just released that happens to support it? I'm going to assume that X-Cube 3 happens to support networking. Now that makes me think that we want to go in here and say that X-Cube 3 should be supported by Sergeant Stabby Face. I also want to say that we want to increase the priority on this so it gets done quicker. And that thunder was so loud that I don't know if it was loud in the video, but good Lord. Is that oh, I think it just aged about 4 years. That was unreasonably loud. Good Lord, I need to turn everything down. Oh, we've been nominated for an award in 1 out of 4 categories. What is it? Best product? No, I thought we were gonna get it. Sergeant Stabby Face was the 2nd best product. That's kind of cool. I'm quite pleased with that. And I've realized that I don't know where Bella necessarily sits. Whose office is this? This is marketing. This is Bella. Okay. I feel like Bella should have those awards. I feel like that's important. So let's grab this and we'll put it not there. I want to just move it right into that corner. So right there. Grab this one and put it up above, and let's get that award into Bella's office. It just seems like it makes sense. I don't like that we're not getting awards as regularly as we did in the last series of this game that we did, but we're getting there. There did come a point where we were getting awards every single year, and sometimes multiple awards every single year, so we might get there. There's definitely a chance. I'm also wanting to see how... So Ghost Interactive have a little bit more money than they did. They also have 2.9 million fans, which is wild. I really might be biting off more than I can chew when it comes to marketing Sergeant Stabby Face, or Spaceman 3 rather, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of Stabby Face, the update's done. Let's push that out the door and see if we can't get people to be a little bit happier with the fact that it has in fact been updated. Seems that the porting is done as well. it might not be a bad idea to go through my software and just see what else might need a bit of a port. So we'll start from the top. We'll work down. Let's sort by active users. 100,000 here. Not interested. Pixel ports. Let's have a look. 29,000. Not interested. Space Command 2. We could port 1 million is not bad. And this operating system as well. I don't know that that is necessary. It is still selling though, which is pretty good. And Sergeant Stabbyface has also made a profit now, which is pretty good. So I don't mind that too much. It would have been nice if it made more, but I do think moving straight into Space Command 3 is probably the safe bet. I think that's the right thing to do. And I'm also realizing that my 2D editor team is doing nothing. My core team is doing nothing. The core team, by the way, I think we're going to rename to the audio team. I don't like not having a core team. That's a weird feeling. I always have a core team, but they're not the core team anymore. They are going to be, I mean, I'm leading it and I'm doing audio tools. So let's do it. Let's queue up a bunch of software and start working towards the future of Nerdrasoft. We have Reverb, Reverb MIDI, and Reverb 2.0. 2.0 was 6 years ago, so let's start working on a sequel to that, which interestingly, just because, you know, I thought it was funny, someone happened to point out the fact that we don't have reverb in this software. I don't remember what episode it was. It might have been the first one of the series, but someone was like, hey, it's kind of funny. You're making an audio tool called Reverb that doesn't have delay and reverb. And I got nothing, man. I got I got nothing for that. So we're going to call it for now Reverb 3. And I think this might end up being the last time that we call it Reverb. It might get renamed. It'll be a sequel. So we're going to do Reverb, you know, Reverb MIDI 2.0 and then Reverb 3. And just to be annoying because they've all had different names, it was just Reverb, then MIDI, then 2.0. I'm going to do Reverb 3 in Roman numerals because we're not being remotely consistent with the naming of this thing anyway. So I might as well continue that. And then the next one will be named something totally different. It will be a successor to Reverb. It will be a sequel. It'll just be named differently because that's what I do. In terms of frameworks for this, I don't have anything myself, which is fine. So let's go for this. It has a bunch of stuff in it. None of them have reverb, which is really unfortunate. Well, that one does, but I don't know if I want to use something that old. Let's just use this one, which is totally fine. It has a synthesizer, which I'm okay with. I would like those tech levels are so out of date. No, you know what? We're not even going to do it. We're just going to do a new framework is what we're going to do because these tech levels are so far behind. It's approximately 2 years, which is a bit rough, but we can work with that. Reverb 3, $99 is not bad either. I'm kind of okay with that. We'll give it reverb because I think it's important that we do that. I think it's important that reverb has reverb before before the rebrand at some point. And the engine, I think we're just going to call it like the Echo engine or something like that. It seems like a good name for like the core of an audio tool. So that'll be totally fine. The 2D editor in question, unfortunately, is going to have to be a competitor's product. Unless, hold on, I wonder, if I keep this minimized and I go to Pixel and I say update Pixel, can I bring its tech all up to date here and throw my... Oh, I realized the core team was useful for this. Okay, you know what? No, Pixel's a 2D editor. Throw the 2D team at it and we'll let them do that. So hopefully my thinking here, we have the design document minimized. My thinking is that our people can come in the morning and hopefully very quickly get Pixel updated, which they're absolutely doing. And then once it's updated, that should bring its tech level up to a more modern standard. And then we should be able to use it for what we're wanting to do here. We also have a bunch of bugs getting fixed. So we'll send that out. We'll open the design document. And then now we can use Pixel, which means I don't have to pay royalties, which is perfect. Operating systems for this guy, active users. Let's do these 3. That seems absolutely fantastic. 7.4 million potential consumers. Into here, we'll analyze the market. We'll apply that. We will auto balance for 100% interest, which is totally fine. I don't like the 53% wasted. I don't like the approximate 3-year ETA on this. That does not make me happy, but unfortunately, that is just how it's going to be. Approximately 3 years, possibly closer to 4 years. Not good. Definitely not good. We don't have enough designers. We don't have enough programmers either. So we might actually want to expand the audio team a little bit and just see how it goes. I have done all of the other reverbs though. They've all been mediocre. So hopefully they're going to be a little bit better. That's the goal anyway. But we need to double the designers. We need to almost double the programmers. This is kind of why we do need to move into the skyscraper and move out of the apartment building. We do have, what, 2 more offices that we can get our hands on? So if I wanted to, I mean, we have these 2 spaces for this team right now. If we wanted to, we could get our hands on those extra offices and expand the audio team. I think that might be a really good idea. I'm not sure I want to do it, but I think I'm going to have to do it. So let's have a little bit of a look and see. It looks like I might have to, yeah, I think I'm unfortunately going to have to copy this design again. Well, actually, I don't know if it'll even fit now that I think about it. Let's start with, if I can find the office I'm looking for. Let's start with this one. We'll lease it. We'll go ahead and grab everything in here. We'll copy it. And yeah, you can't mirror things, which is really unfortunate. It'd be really useful if we could, but we can, at the very least, do something like this, and then I can just sort of shuffle things around a little bit, which I'm fine with. All right, so this is a little bit cramped, but I think it will do the job. It gives us another 12 desks for the audio team, which I think is going to be important. So if we go and have a look at Reverb 3, we can look at the details and see just how we're doing. So we do need some better designers. We do need way more audio in here as well. Actually, no, we don't. I think this is how many we have. So we have up to level 3 on design. We have this. That's actually okay. So we're doing all right in terms of this. It's just going to be a little bit slow, which isn't necessarily ideal, but that's totally fine. It recommends 6 designers and 12 programmers. So if we have a look into the good old audio team, we can have a look here. So 6 designers is fine. We can manage that. And 12 programmers. So that's going to give us, oh, it's a lot of employees. So we basically need 8 more programmers. I am not going to do that. I'm going to say 11 because I think I count as a programmer. And I'm going to bring in 1 more artist. Not that we need another artist, but I just think it's going to help us a little bit. And if we have a look, that team is hopefully going to fill out pretty quickly. And that's hopefully going to mean that it doesn't take forever for Reverb 3 to go out the door. I'm really hoping that it's not going to be an almost 4-year process to make that, because if it is, that's going to be a major problem. I don't want to be, approaching the year 2000 while we're still on our first audio tool franchise. So hopefully we can figure that out, and hopefully that's something that's going to work out. Now, when it comes to other things such as Pixel, I'm really not as interested in going crazy with it. I think Pixel is going to be a bit simpler. So we'll make a sequel. Pixel 2 is totally fine. It's a nice, simple little thing. We'll just double check that we're not doing Pixel 2. We're not, which is good. I think we can do this. Now, this is going to be interesting, I think. We are dealing with a lot of wasted interest on this, but because we're using our own framework, and again, we're not doing a publisher here, but because we're using our own framework, we have a lot of buffs. We have a lot of bonuses on this thing that makes it a little bit quicker to do. So the only new things that are going to be in Pixel 2 will be levels and curves, and we also have vector graphics, which is kind of cool. We could do drawing tablet support, but it brings it up to about 2 years with 121% wasted interest. So we're going to kind of just not do that. We have a huge surplus of employees when it comes to working on this thing. We have way more than we need, but honestly, that's fine. Let's just have Bob go ahead with Pixel 2. And that now puts us in a spot where my game devs, my audio team, and my 2D editor teams are working on all they need to be working on. We have the accounting team doing nothing, really. They're really not all that useful unless I make them crunch. The marketing team is doing nothing right now as well. And then the support team is, I mean, they're doing great work, to be totally honest. The support team is doing really, really good work. Unfortunately, Sergeant Stabby Face didn't really seem to, it really hasn't found its footing, which kind of sucks. But I think that's just going to be the way of it. I think that's just kind of where we're at. We'll go back to Space Command. We'll have the trilogy of Space Command go out, and then we'll come back and do the sequel to Stabby Face. We can, you know, Sergeant Stabby Face to Stab Harder or something like that. Let me know in the comments below what the Stabby Face sequels should be called. They need to be the most 80s, the most cheesy, the most like, not, when I say obnoxious, I don't mean like annoying. I just mean, you know, Sergeant Stabby Face 2 Stab Harder, that kind of vibe where it's just like, of course that's what it's called. You know, it's just that kind of, oh, not again. Not again. Oh, please. Okay, I think they ran. Yeah, they ran off. There we go. All right. They're not taking my, not taking my awards this time. I don't think we have to deal with that anymore, which is great. We have so many employees. How many are we looking at right now? Let's have a look at everybody. We have 63 employees. When did that happen? Oh, Nerdersoft is just growing up so fast. It's growing up so fast. I love it. All right, let's do one last little thing for today. Let's update Pixel. Let's update Space Command 2. We'll give that to the game dev team. Bring the 2D stuff up to date, bring the systems up to date. We can use Pixel to power the Space Command 2 update, which I think is good. We want to do the same with Sergeant Stabby Face, bring the 2D up to modern standards. We'll use Pixel to do it. We'll do that for the game dev team as well. There's a lot of bugs, but they'll manage. And then for Nexus, we'll have the, man, not having a core team is really weird. We'll have the audio team do it. They can bring the networks up. They can bring the 2D up. They can bring the systems up. They'll manage. And that should be all right. Nexus, 6.3 million users. Not bad. That is pretty solid. Pixel's ready to be updated as well, which is great. We'll make all of these updates a top priority because it really shouldn't take too long to get those out the door. The bugs might take a bit longer, but should be fine. I mean, Nexus is done already, which is great news. And then this guy, I mean, the updates are done for both of them. Sergeant Stabby Face is updated as well, which is what we're looking for. Let's take a very quick look and see how it's doing in terms of active users. Did the update help, or is it just, well, dead in the water? 46,000, 15, okay. Up to about 52,000. People seem to, yeah, people seem to be a little bit happier with that. We're really not making much money right now, though, which has me really concerned. I don't love that. Definitely seems like Space Command 3 is slowing down in its design phase. Does seem like Reverb's going nice and quickly though, which is great. And then Pixel 2 is doing all right as well. Space Command 2 has been updated. How are we looking here? 5,000 active users. Is that going to go up at all? I would doubt it. When did that go out? So that was 89. It's now November 93. This is the year, this is the month and year I was born. Okay. Makes me feel a little bit old, but sure. Let's see if, I can't believe we're not releasing anything this month either. That's really disappointing. All right, we'll accept all and close. I think we're doing all right. Space Command 2 went down a little bit. The Stabby Face went up a little bit. We're still making money. Not a whole lot, but we're not losing a whole lot. And we have some exciting times ahead of us. We're going independent. We're not using publishers anymore. We have Space Command 3 on the relative near horizons, I guess. It's now in its alpha phase, which is very exciting. Shouldn't take too long to do. Pixel 2, I'm just going to let it go. Reverb 3, we're going to let it go. We need to start marketing Space Command sooner than later, but that's all going to be something for the next episode because that is going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.